everyone, my name is Arleen Gonzalez and I'm a medical interpreter, and I just wanted to share some information with you about my process as a medical interpreter. I started off my career being a volunteer at my child's school. I was interpreting as a volunteer for parent-teacher conferences, for any kind of event that the school had. So eventually, one of the staff there asked me, why don't you just do this for a living, get paid? And so I decided to start interpreting professionally with the school district initially. I met other interpreters while we were all working. We shared information. That's how I was able to get a good network of companies that were local and were hiring. I also did a lot of Googling. I started Googling myself just to get more companies, more information going. So I started doing that, and that's how I was able to get more work, and I was able to go through the process of becoming a medical interpreter. You can either get your Bridging the Gap or you can get your TCI. I believe other states have other programs, certificates that you can get. Now, if you'd like to know more about each of these, you can always Google Bridging the Gap or the TCI. Now, after I did that, I was very fortunate in the companies and the people that I've met. So one of the things that I personally think is important for an interpreter to have is, these are little things that you can either go with or not go with. The first one would be a bottled water. This would be essential for an interpreter who is working long hauls and needs to clean their pipes. Another thing that I personally always have with me is a snack, because you're driving around all the time, everywhere. Chapstick, because your lips and your mouth get dry and your lips are very visible. Even before the pandemic, I always carried hand sanitizer, just because you never know. Another thing that I carry with me is a mint, just because gum has not worked out for me. Maybe for you, but not for me. One of the other things that I like to do, but I should do more often, is I do carry my name tag with a big bright lanyard color, because you do want to distinguish yourself from others. So this is kind of helpful. Another one of the things that I strongly recommend would be to have a personalized pen. This is my pen, and the reason I say your pen is because people steal pens. That's in any job, career, appointment, house, friend, everybody steals your pen. So have your own special pen. A must for a medical interpreter, especially this is being filmed in 2022. So a pandemic happened, I'm sure you all are aware. And one of the things that we are required to in many states, I am in Colorado, so that is a requirement in many of the locations I work at, is a mask. Having a mask is needed and essential for us as medical interpreters. Now, during the height of the pandemic, when the numbers were skyrocketing here in Colorado, I did do double mask. and I had a very shiny mask, but I did do double mask. Now I do not, but masks are essential. The reason for the nifty pen is because I would recommend you would also get yourself a good little folder, a notebook, something that you can take notes, because as you know, as a medical interpreter, depending if you're doing simultaneous interpreting or consecutive interpreting, sometimes it is a lot. So I would recommend getting a notebook, and within that notebook, I personally have little stickies on them, just because sometimes you need to write down information for the client, you need to write down information for yourself, other reasons why, sorry for the sirens. Another reason why I personally put these stickies on here is because sometimes you get stuck on a word. You get stuck on a word, or you catch it, remember it, and you are like, you are not going to get me again, word. You are not. So I write it down usually, and I will embed it in my memory. But if you don't write it down, you're not going to know what to remember. So that's why. One of the other things that I used to, and I don't carry with me anymore nowadays, depending if on the type of appointment, I now just will carry very few things. A lot of it is in my car, but one of the other things that I did have is this general anatomy, and this is a good, very strong and sturdy, helpful tool for an interpreter. It's a Sparkchart, and it just has general information about the body, and this is a good thing to be reading up on, just to like revise. Depending if you're going with a hand specialist, you may need to look at that. Another one of the things that I picked up, just because you never know when you're gonna have a blank moment, it happens, is this Spanish, this medical Spanish. It is very, basic, but it is always very comforting for me, just to have these tools in case I do need them, to have them available. So this is useful, at least it was, and it is still useful for me. This is all of the things that I can think of now. Oh, and a charger. Have a charger with you. Have a charger with you, just because you never know. I would strongly recommend you have one in your car versus having one with you out. But that is all I have for today. If you have any questions, or if you would like to get more information, please leave any comments that you have. And if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you.